I know lots of things happen in the wrestling world. We informed our listeners about the tag team title switch. Legion of Doom losing the titles to IRS and Ted DiBiase. Kind of a surprise, I would feel. I thought it was eventually going to happen, but it happened a little earlier than everyone anticipated.
Yeah, I think that a couple of us have sort of been talking that we knew it was going to happen before WrestleMania, but it happened on the Legion of Doom's first match back together as a team because Hawk had been out of action for a couple of weeks. It happened sooner than expected, I guess.
And television cameras, as we understand, were present for this. So
there were two. It wasn't like a whole production, like at a TV taping or anything, but it was being videotaped. Yeah.
Okay, they kind of did maybe like a WCW deal when there were title switches at the Meadowlands, maybe a couple handheld cameras. But we're anxiously waiting to see that, and that was a big shocker for us when we got the news a couple of days ago. Also, last night, WWF's Saturday Night Main Event returned, this time on Fox Network. And no surprises there. Sid Justice walking away and leaving Hulk Hogan's side. Brutus Beefcake coming into the ring as well. And just gearing up for WrestleMania now.
Yeah, I think that they're really going to focus a lot on Brutus Beefcake gearing up to WrestleMania. Because it's just interesting that it's been about, a little over 18 months, about 20 months.
Yeah.
Since Beefcake's injury. And this was the first time, if I recall, that it's ever actually been acknowledged. What happened? I mean, like, I think they right when it happened, they did a real quick mention there was a boating accident, Bruce Beefcake, we wish him well, and never said anything about him for about a year. Then he came back and did the barbershop for a while, but none of this stuff has ever been acknowledged, so I figure if they're going to acknowledge it now, I mean, that means that they're using it for an angle.
Oh, sure. They're mentioning the fact that his face was busted up and broken into thousands of little pieces, and so they're really playing...
They actually made it maybe even worse than it was.
Yeah.
It was a really bad accident.
It was a bad accident, but now they're really playing it up, and Beefcake, of course, everyone predicts now will be on Hogan's side during WrestleMania. And
I expect him to be attacked between now and WrestleMania.
Beefcake, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, the old, if you remember the movie No Holds Barred, of all things to remember.
Yes.
I mean, they had Hogan's brother, get attacked and, by the big villain, and now they've got another big villain, and Beefcake's the closest thing to Hogan's brother in wrestling, so...
Yeah, that's quite true. They're really playing up the friendship, and also Savage and Randy Savage and Flair. I guess they'll now start to get ready to push that main event for WrestleMania. Any idea how that's going to happen? There's been talk about there'll be some pictures that Flair will have of Elizabeth, and that'll get Savage jealous. Is that what you've heard about it?
Just like sketchy, yeah, along those lines, but just very sketchy. I really don't know exactly how they're going, but it was good to see because I thought Savage did pretty well last night.
Yes, that was the best match of the card, I felt.
I felt so, too. I felt that was, and mainly because of Savage. I thought Savage worked really, really hard, which was good to see because if Savage can work like that against Flair, which at WrestleMania there's no reason why he shouldn't, then they will have a classic match.
Yeah.
I was kind of worried because what I had seen of Savage since he made his comeback, wasn't really all that special.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also Undertaker now, his character getting ready to turn, and he will be saving Elizabeth coming up. Just the way they ended that show last night, I think maybe they'll continue that on Superstars next week.
I expect so, yeah. I expect it'll be on Superstars next week, too.
Now, interesting enough, we're getting back to Justice briefly. They had their Wrestling Challenge show, and you had mentioned to me that they had a different program that aired in California rather than the rest of the country?
Well, no, not necessarily California, but the program here... They had a different program here for Sunday, and I bet you they did it with Superstars also, as compared to the shows that aired on Saturday.
Yeah.
We have a chance to see some shows on Saturday and Sunday, and the shows were different both days, even though they're usually the exact same show, because they made special shows for the markets that get it on Sunday to talk about what happened last night. Mm-hmm. So, I think they were really on the ball when it comes to this. That's something that I don't think I've ever seen a wrestling promotion do, is be that meticulous with their TV, and that's, we knocked them, and they deserve it, but, you have to credit them for how meticulous they are in putting together their TV.
Well, WrestleMania coming up April 5th, and that'll take place at the Hoosier Dome. Any word yet as far as the advanced ticket sales for this?
I had been given a number of about 16,000 about a week ago, so, boy, that's a lot of seats to fill.
Yes.
And, they talk very confident about it going to be a sellout. And, I mean, you can always pad it and people will come to WrestleMania for free, obviously. So they can fill it. But, they, 72,000 seats right now. That's going to be a tough sell to get 72,000, I think, in that building.
Man, I really feel this WrestleMania could be the best one in several years, and I'm looking forward to this particular card. Dave, I wish we had some more time. I tell you, we have about 5 minutes to go here. That's about it. And we have plenty of calls coming in to talk to you. And maybe what we could do in a couple of weeks to bring you back on for the full hour, so we could take a lot of calls for you. We just got messed up tonight's show with Cornette coming on so late. So if you can, your publication is like the New York Times of Pro Wrestling. If you can give everybody an address on where they could write to you, and let's take it from there.
Okay, yeah, it's a Wrestling Observer newsletter. It's Post Office Box 1228, Campbell, California, 95009, and it's $6 for 4 issues. Comes out every week.
Okay, and Dave, continued success with the Observer. It's as far as readership goes, the #1 publication in the business, and continued success and continued hard work on all the stories that you've been following, the steroid issue in pro wrestling, and hopefully we get you back on in a few weeks, and we could really get in depth and talk to you in detail about a lot of stuff that's breaking in the business.
Okay, great, John.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Okay, bye.
Always informative. You guys were talking about the Brutus Beefcake injury. And when that happened, that was a big deal with our office because we had gotten some really, really news reports and people who were in the vicinity when he got hurt. Ed Leslie really got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was touching. From what I understand,
touch and go.
Touch and go. Yeah. He got hit, and I know this is how it was reported to us. Knees first by a parasailer.
Yes.
In the face. Knees first. Can you imagine the impact of that?
Incredible. That's why he was out for 2 years. You know.
I mean, and we thought his career was finished in the office, and I know Bill was real shook up because he knew him.
Yeah.
And Bill Apter, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And when we heard he was coming back, we went, how? Because we heard that he was.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he was coming back, but he did. But anyway, yeah. But he's, I mean, he was Hogan's friend for many, many years, and they brought him into this, and we'll be covering that as we get closer to WrestleMania from 1992.